A moment of silence Wednesday at Plymouth Middle School as students honored the victims of the September 11th terrorist attacks. Students also heard from first responders who shared what they do. The fire chief of Brooklyn Park was in New York City at Ground Zero shortly after the attacks. Back then, Chief John Cunningham worked for the fire department in Greenwich, Connecticut. Reporter Pafua Yang sat down with the Brooklyn Park fire chief as he recalls his memories from that day.
Personally, it's a day of reflection. It's not a day that I look forward to.
Forever embedded in his mind and heart.
I remember just rushing back to my dorm room and turning on the news and watching it unfold.
Brooklyn Park Fire Chief John Cunningham relives the sights and sounds of 9/11.
There was a volunteer firefighter about 35 minutes away in my hometown in Greenwich, which is right on the New York border.
Cunningham rushed into the unknown along with several state troopers.
I remember just that feeling that, that you couldn't drive fast enough.
Finally, in the midst of Ground Zero, the scene was nothing he could have prepared for.
We were still hopeful that we would find someone alive at Ground Zero.
But as hours turned into days and days turned into weeks, no survivors were to be found. Cunningham lost 343 brothers, and many more have since passed due to health effects from working at the collapse site.
And you see that across every single day, that firefighters, police officers, emergency medical personnel, they run into danger when everyone else is trying to get out of it.
And while the attacks left destruction,
when September 12th hit, our country changed.
America became united. Thousands of people held signs of gratitude and love toward the heroes.
I started to choke up, and even thinking about it, it's emotional.
Cunningham recalls a kid hugging him and handing him a ribbon that said, "Who I am makes a difference."
That was a profound moment because I realized that no matter what you do as a person, every small act of kindness and generosity makes a difference on the world.
He says suddenly, all the differences in the world didn't matter anymore.
We recognize that we have a lot more in common with each other than we do our differences.
In Brooklyn Park, Pafua Yang.
Never forgetting truly means never forgetting.
CCX News.
Chief Cunningham says he still keeps in touch with the firefighters he worked with at Ground Zero. The Plymouth City Council took a significant step Tuesday night in moving the Plymouth Creek Center expansion project forward. However, council members were divided on the project. The City Council approved preliminary design plans to renovate and expand the Plymouth Creek Center. The vote was 4-3. The center is 20 years old, and city surveys show at least 60% support for the project. The makeover would include adding at least 2 gyms, a walking track, and an indoor play area that would be unique to the area. It would also increase the space by about 80,000 square feet. That's more than tripling the size of the existing space. The preliminary cost is about $51 million. For the median value home in Plymouth, it would add about $6 a month in city property taxes. City council members who voted no were concerned the cost could go higher. The life of a successful student athlete can be a hectic one as they try to balance school with practice, individual workouts, and games. But as Delane Cleveland reports, this week's standout student from Wayzata High School has been able to face the challenge head on and be a leader in the process.
If you're a fan of Wayzata football,
they start this drive from their 45 and a big hole up the middle. This is Vassar ripping off 15 yards.
Then you're familiar with Trojans running back Christian Vassar.
Here comes Vassar, 25, keeps his balance inside the 20 down to the 18.
Wayzata's head coach Lambert Brown has nothing but great things to say about the senior captain.
First and foremost, he's a hard worker. He's a kid who takes pride in what he does. Wants to do well in school, wants to do well in the football field, wants to be a leader.
He's a leader on the field who has verbally committed to play at Minnesota State Mankato on a football scholarship.
Yeah, it's crazy because not a lot of people can do what I did, and I feel very blessed and very accomplished, and it's a great thing.
But beneath the tough exterior that you would normally see on game day,
I guess what you would call a mama's and grandma's boy,
is a student with a big heart who helps take care of his 5-year-old sister.
My parents work a lot, so I kind of have to take care of her a lot. So she looks up to me a lot, and when she's crying in bed or something like that, You know how a lot of little kids go to their parents' room, she goes to my room.
He shared this information during his personal and family issues class.
I try to help teach her lessons just like my mom and my dad do.
Back to Vassar it goes.
One day after his playing days are over, he'd like to have a career that deals with helping people.
I was either thinking of social work or maybe coming back and being a teacher and then help coaching and help kids along the way.
It's news that doesn't come as a surprise to the man who coaches the student athlete with a 3.1 GPA.
He's a young man of great character.
Yeah.
But for now, Christian has the rest of his senior year to worry about.
My mama said it's student before athlete, so you got to keep the student up.
In Plymouth, Delane Cleveland, CCX News.
We continue our tributes to victims of 9/11 with a visit to Providence Academy in Plymouth. Students honored the victims and first responders by placing flags on the front lawn. Although most of the students weren't born when the attacks occurred, they say it's important to remember what happened 18 years ago today.
For the future generations that don't even know of that event happening in their lives, that they're taught about it and they know the impact, influence, and the great sadness of it.
As we go to break, we will leave you now with more from the Providence Academy tribute.
The Wayzata and Osseo volleyball teams had a great battle in the Section 5 3A semifinals last season, with Wayzata winning in 5 sets. They met up Tuesday at Wayzata in a regular season match. First set, Elizabeth Helmick serves for Wayzata, overpassed by Osseo, pounded by Lily Emlog for the point. Taylor Kwan, a perfect serve for Osseo. This one goes back and forth. Olivia Johnson sets for Kate Long, and she finishes for the Trojans. Allie Hinsey answers with a big kill for Osseo, and the Orioles take the set 25-20. Johnson with a back set for Helmick, and her attack is down as the Trojans build an 11-2 lead in set 2. Johnson and Emlog work a perfect slide play here. The big kill makes it 13-4 Wayzata. Then at set point, Helmick gets the ace as Wayzata takes it 25-12. The Trojans go on to win the match 3-1. Park Center's volleyball team played its second Northwest Suburban Conference match of the fall against an Irondale team that came in with a 6-1 record. The Pirates' Lindsay Lee sets outside to Sydney Warkin, who unloads for the kill. These teams battle for 5 sets. The Knights' attack catches tape, but also some of the hands of Kaylee Fisher. Her block helped Park Center win this set. This one goes back and forth. Later, the set by Warkin to Tanea Foster left side for another Pirate point. In the 5th set, Lee will set it to Warkin for another kill for Park Center. Not quite enough, though, in this match, as Irondale's Maddie Herzog sets to Peyton Howie for the kill on match point, and the Knights beat the Pirates in 5 sets. The Park Center and Champlin Park boys soccer teams are off to good starts this season. They met up in a high-scoring contest at Park Center. Chandler Merrick's long throw-in bounces high, and Leo Kana's header goes in as Champlin Park gets on the board 4.5 minutes into the match. 6 minutes later, William Heinen drops the ball back to Cole Bridson, and he gets past the defense and scores. And the Rebels go up 2-0. Park Center answers. Eddie Swen nearly loses the ball, but he gets it back and turns and fires into the lower corner of the net. The Pirates are back to within 2-1. But the Rebels keep scoring. Great passing to start this play. And then when the Pirates can't clear, Klona is there to bury the shot for a 4-1 lead. Late in the first half, Heinen one-on-one with the defender. His left-footed shot slips past to keeper Brody Ping. Champlin Park goes on to hand Park Center its first loss of the season. 4-2 Rebels is the final. In the girls' match between those schools, Champlin Park looking to remain unbeaten on the season, and they get off to a fast start. Allie Harding is all alone on the left side and puts the shot away for the Rebels for a goal 33 seconds into the match. Awful corner kick by Paige Kalla. Megan Carlson heads the ball into the back of the Pirates' net. It's the first of 2 goals for Carlson in the match. Still in the first half, and Amy Shute delivers a short pass to Julia Sullivan, and she finds the far corner of the net with her first goal of the season and make it 4-0 Rebels. Blessed Thomas, a nice crossing pass here to Melee Mathis, who traps the ball and then shoots and scores. Mathis scores the final 3 goals of the first half to give Champlin Park a 7-0 lead. They go on to win 9-0 and are now 5-0-1 on the season. Maple Grove and Osseo went toe-to-toe in boys soccer Tuesday night, where scoring was at a premium. Second half with Maple Grove on the attack. Connor Fournier's crossing pass intended for Carter Sheard, but Osseo goalie Kyle Getchy making a great play to break up the pass, and there's no score. Late in the half, off an Osseo corner kick, Ethan Sock's header stopped first by the goalie, Holden Waldrum, and then cleared out of danger by Matt Rada. These teams go to overtime. Sock makes a big defensive play here, stopping the try by Levi Dunlop. This one ends in a scoreless draw.